This video is now in session, and this is another opinion jargon video. So today I want to do, or if you know this place, this is Shanghai, and I'm going to be talking about China and what to do, what America should be doing about China. But what America should be doing about China, for that, I'm gonna say something that America should not be doing about China, which is imposing tariffs and trying to hamper down uh, legitimate Chinese manufacturing practices, because because the United States will not get anything done if they try to stop another country from succeeding. In fact, it's only going to make that country want to succeed more, and will eventually make them succeed even more without without having the effects of United States hampering their country. Even though the United States has imposed a lot of tariffs on China, ultimately that's not going to do anything to stop China. So instead of trying to stop China from their legitimate manufacturing for illegitimate, economic proposals, yeah, they still should hamper down on that. But for legitimate economic policies, for that, America shouldn't be hampering down. Instead, what America should be doing is doing something similar to like a space race with Russia. Is to aggressively develop their entrepreneurial industry to make sure that there's more. There's more new companies, new Fortune 500 companies based in the United States, having more innovative companies, and also building out manufacturing that's much more involves much more technology and is much more in some ways complicated than the manufacturing in China, because China will always dominate in low cost, cheap labor manufacturing. The United States at this point is a global superpower and a first world country. It can't really have at this point low cost, cheap labor manufacturing. So instead, what they should be doing is similar to what Tesla is doing. It's trying to create manufacturing hubs for very high or very technologically demanding products like electric vehicles. They should be the manufacturers of clean energy, of electric vehicles and electric products, not for simple products like pencils or face masks. Because, or I mean, that was a bad example, but or something like metal or concrete, because ultimately it's not going to be worth it for the United States to keep hampering down on China with that, because it's not like they're improving themselves. What they shouldn't be doing is they shouldn't be hampering others down. They shouldn't be trying to go against other countries. They should be instead developing themselves. The United States used to be a very innovative country when they were the first ones to land on the moon. They created a interstate highway system that's unparalleled. That was several decades ago. All of those events happened decades ago. In the modern day, America, not much innovation has been done, with the exception of computer programming and like Silicon Valley related industries. But besides that, there really hasn't been much America has done. But there's two things that America could do that could really make them much more innovative in the global landscape. First thing is healthcare and health technology, and that includes biotechnology. The second thing that America should be doing is investing in clean energy and trying to be the dominant player in clean energy. So I'll start with the health sector first. The health sector has a lot of high paying jobs. A lot of the jobs in healthcare are high income, which is why America should be investing in healthcare and in biotechnology and these kinds of fields, because they're very educated fields. So it's something that America can uniquely do. Other countries, like more third world countries and developing countries, aren't able to do that because they're not advanced enough to have research facilities or to educate people through health or through getting a healthcare job or getting a job in the health industry. So America should definitely be propping that up. And that involves education, and I'll get to education later. But the second thing they should be doing is going into clean energy and going into the electric market. They could create thousands of new jobs that can be transferred over from fossil fuel jobs, from fracking jobs, over to clean energy jobs. And this shouldn't really be a partisan issue. In other countries, both liberals and conservatives agree with getting clean energy proposals. Canada's Conservative Party, the United Kingdom's Conservative Party, they're all for fighting against climate change. Yet the Republican Party in the United States is against fighting climate change. And why is that? It's because of these corporations of these oil corporations like ExxonMobil, which are actively lobbying Republicans to stop climate change proposals from getting done. But the best thing, or I guess the thing that should be in America's interest, is moving over to clean energy jobs. Fossil fuel jobs are not sustainable in the long term. In 2 decades from now, the fossil fuel industry is practically going to die, which is why America should not be spending more and more money on subsidies to help prop these industries up, to keep these industries alive. What they should be doing is moving over to clean energy and to have these new industries dedicated to developing more renewable technologies, and as well as trying to get everything over from fossil fuels to electricity. I mean, a lot of coal miners and a lot of fossil fuel workers already admit that their industry is dying. So we shouldn't be spending the time to try to keep it alive when we know it's already going to die. And this goes a little more into ethics, but what should be done instead is to transfer these people that have these coal mining jobs and these fossil fuel jobs. What the United States should be doing is to educate them, is to put them into good education, and then bring them over to the clean energy market, because this is an industry that is not dominated at this moment by a country. China doesn't have a monopoly on developing clean energy. No country has. So it's an opportunity the United States should take. And part of that opportunity is developing batteries, is to develop new batteries. Because lithium ion, if we want to go over to electricity, which is the future, lithium ion batteries should be phased out, and instead there should be a new battery technology to replace lithium ion, because lithium is a finite resource. I mean, everything's a finite resource, but there's much less lithium than, let's just say, sodium, for example. What the United States should be doing is developing sodium ion batteries and dedicating R&D for these kinds of technologies, to make themselves the leader in battery, to make themselves the leader in innovation, or the leader in climate change, because a lot can be done for this. Climate innovation, free market, a free market economy for energy, making the energy sector much more competitive between clean energy and fossil fuels. That's something that conservatives should all be championed for. Like climate, like innovation. Let's just remove climate from this. Innovation, free market, competitive market. These are all terms that conservatives would associate themselves with. But when you add climate innovation, energy competitiveness, free market energy, then for some reason a lot of conservatives start to turn their heads. That's not really the best way to move America forward. There's no reason for conservatives to turn their heads. But to get all of this done, what America should be doing is improving their education system. And for the education system, that's a very long video. That's a very long segment. So I'm gonna dedicate that to another video, especially because when I will talk about education, I will start to transition a lot more into racial injustice, because a lot of racial injustice is about education. But because of that, it's going to take a very long time to cover this, so I'm going to leave that for another opinion jargon video. So that is the end of this video, and I'll see you in the next one.